Hey, and welcome to the show. This show is brought to you by Patreon members like you.
Thank you for being a Patreon member.
As a Patreon member, you get a video of the podcast that we put out twice a month.
Now, on with the show.
Hey guys, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we go. All right, now we can start over again. All right. So the show is started. We are ready to go. It's been fun. Going to be negative 13 Wednesday night here in Ohio. Forget that, Chris.
Hey, what's up in Oregon?
Midwest is going to be negative 55.
Ooh.
It'll be 79 next
Hey,
Wednesday.
what's up,
exactly, Bill, right?
79 next weekend. Next Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they say. Your voice are different with mics. Okay, yeah,
Sound better?
I don't know.
Or it sounds
let us
weird.
know how it's. I mean,
Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll hear it tonight, obviously, when I do the re-edit and see what it sounds like. Like I said, I don't know if we're gonna. These mics are more for a purpose that we have coming up when we do live events. It's really hard, which we have some scheduled this year. So we wanted to.
Sorry, Jason.
Negative 32 in Chicago tomorrow. But no, Arctic blast, snow. Shit, no.
Matthew. What up,
Hello,
from?
Robert. Thank you. Snow tonight here in
35.
In Georgia. Dang, Dave. That's why I don't live in Georgia.
It's gonna be the
44.
Super Bowl.
Spring can't get here soon enough. I agree. Sounds good, but also sounds like you guys have colds.
Well, bro, we're gonna have some cold. Yeah.
No.
It's gonna be crazy.
Like I said, I don't plan on using these all that often. We wanted to try them out so that we, believe it or not, we want to know that they work before they don't work. We're also going to be getting some handheld microphones that we want to try out too. And then we have a big mixer. It's a nightmare.
This is gonna be a totally news, like.
Kuwait is 62.
Hello, guys,
There you go.
from 5-Star Car
Very
Stereo
cool, very cool.
reporting.
Yeah, we got the.
And today is gonna be
Yeah.
so cold, so please bring your jackets.
So today was the second day this year that we started filming for 2019. We got this guy here. We're not doing a diary. We're doing a from the install bay. This is a 2019 Tundra.
Yep.
It's getting a set of the Focal Flax, the three-way set, because this is the JBL system. So we're doing a video on. Installing the three-way set in this, because I feel this is going to be a real popular truck this year. So we're kind of walking through the steps, kind of like today's video where we walked you through the steps of doing that Chevy truck. We're going to walk through the steps on this. Like I said, we're going to try to do more install bay videos as well as install diaries. We just want to expand upon it. The one nice thing about the install bay videos is that we can pick one topic and we can really dive deep into it, whereas install diaries is more of a story. So,
Like a
single mixer.
No.
Aaron, funny you should chime in, buddy. So a lot of you guys have been asking when the guests are going to start. Well, February. I don't know where November came from.
Yeah.
I was thinking two either way, two down or two up. Anyways, so February is what we were waiting for. We wanted to get everyone through January, especially coming off of December. We had a lot of guests. But our boy in the comments right now, Aaron, is going to be our guest next week. He works at AMP Global. He's one of the cool guys that comes out and trains people. So
he's a very interesting
that'll be
guy.
fun. We're not gonna. I don't want to give too much away because
no.
It's gonna be fun.
He's gonna come.
He's gonna be our guest next week, and then also save the Tacoma for mine. No, don't worry. We'll do a full. Yeah, definitely, Victor. But when it comes out with firmware for the Maestro R, should I pull it out and update it, or leave it well enough alone? Chris, my thought on any update is if nothing is broken, leave it alone. If everything is working the way it's supposed to, then no. If something is glitchy or doing funny stuff, then yes. The other thing you could do too is call iData and say, hey, what was this update pertaining to? Because it might not have anything to do with your car. Not all updates pertain to your specific vehicle. A lot of the times, let's say when manufacturers do updates, so for example, the Toyota Avalon. The Toyota Avalon caused the PAC RP 4TY11 to go from software version like 12 all the way up to 24 or 30 or something like that,
Right.
because they just kept having to revive it to get the Toyota Avalon to work. Now, it didn't affect anything else. Of course, along the way, it may have affected another car, like bump that out or
Correct.
change things. So doing software updates on specific modules, if there's nothing wrong with your current version and everything's working the way it's supposed to,
Manchester, UK, what's
don't
going on?
pull it out. Leave it
Yeah.
alone.
Denver, Colorado, PA. All right, so I have this one. What are your thoughts on the
I was going
PBR?
somewhere before I saw that. I don't remember what I was going. Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Where are you
were
going?
Okay, I was going to talk about Saturday. We'll come back to it though. What were you going to ask me?
On Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday show.
What is that? No, I'm lost. I was just like,
Just read me the thing and we'll come back.
okay, hang on. What are your thoughts on the PBR 404, the microamps?
What are your thoughts on it? You have it in your car.
I have it in my car.
You've been running it now for
Well,
3
he
months?
say microamps because microamps, it has the PBR and the T series. They kind of like,
Well-
small amplifiers.
Yeah.
So PBR is really nice. I have it in my car right now, running 3-way mode. It's awesome. The other ones,
Lansing, Michigan. Ooh.
they're awesome. They're really powerful. So
Carl,
they're
hey, from
good.
Manchester. So you've been running that amp in your car for 3 months now.
Yes.
On the 8 and the components up front.
Correct.
And it has just been, we've been beating the crap out of it.
Oh man, no problem.
We ran, right now you have the DSR-1 back in. We had the WaveTech piece in there for a while. Yeah, so very
it's
bulletproof,
nice.
very bulletproof.
Yep.
We've been running the Power Series in a lot of customers'
Correct.
cars. We've been doing a ton of those. It's very nice. They sound good. They perform well. 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
Now, what I was going to say about Saturday is you're not going to be here Saturday.
Correct. I'm sorry.
So you totally forgot you're
Yeah.
not going to be here.
No.
However, so we are going to have a special guest filling the role of Fernando on Saturday, and I can tell you now it won't be Haley because she's going to be gone too. So I'm totally flying.
You guys gonna like that?
I'm gone, but you're
Yeah.
going to love the guest. The guest guy we're going to have in filling in for him. We'll let you know. I may tease it when we get a little closer, but otherwise you may just I'll tease it. We just want to make sure that he can get here. If he can, it's going to be a great show. So
Yeah,
Saturday
yeah.
we're going to have a guest host as well. Which one? LC7i or DSR-1? 2 totally different animals.
Yep.
They both do high-level input. That's about where they end. A DSR-1 is a full DSP with EQ, time correction, all that. And LC7i is a high-level as well. However, it will do summing. So if you need to do any form of summing, meaning you have a tweeter, you have a mid-range, you need to bring them together so you can get one full-range channel output, that's what an LC7i will do over a DSR-1. Now, if you don't need to do that, then a DSR-1 all the way, because that will give you all those cool things.
All right. So Justin say, where's the problem with using a
What's up,
factory
Ron,
head
from
unit?
Clear Impressions Audio.
What's going on?
He's nuts, Bobby.
Where's the problem to using the factory head unit on the Kia Forte? I was told that there is a problem.
Hold on, Robert Van Hoy. There's no fill-in for Fernando.
It's no film for Fernando.
There
Thank
isn't,
you.
but we're
Thank
gonna have a
you, man.
guest host because.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, now what was?
So
what was your
yeah, it
Answer.
says I was told there is a problem with using like factory amp
Yes.
to run amplifiers.
So going through the factory amplifier out to the
Factory head unit.
Factory head
He
unit.
wanna add, I'm sure, 2 amps,
Okay.
highs and subs.
What kind of car is it again?
It's a Kia Forte.
What year?
I had no idea.
So basically, what it sounds like is what we talk about a lot, in that you have to go after the amplifier because there is no Amp Pro device for that. Now, I know that Metra is got some Hyundai, which is Kia, I know, but Hyundai owns Kia. If you didn't know that, big surprise. I know. So first thing I would do is check Metra online and see if their product works. If it doesn't, then yes, you're going to go after the amplifier. The only problem that you could have in a Hyundai or Kia is some of those do have fake noise, which is the growling sound, which is going to be an issue. So you really got to
2016?
figure
Okay.
that stuff out first.
Yeah.
And then you can move forward with it. But going after the amplifier is totally acceptable. That's why they make the LC7i. That's why they make a DM810. That's why they make a DM608, because these are high-level to low-level DSPs that are made to go into cars. The only thing they can't do is fix fake noise.
So just to keep in mind, like you cannot use a regular high level to low level.
Yeah. No fake noise on a Forte. Thank you, Ron.
There
So
you
no
go.
fake noise on a Forte. So if you do have to go after the amplifier, look at something from Audio Control would be a good place to start because those are going to be your best high level to low level inputs. And then, you know, if you want something with DSP. So if you don't need DSP, LC7i, LC8i, great.
DSL1.
Now the one thing that we talk about all the time is summing. So summing means where you have to take that tweeter channel and you have to take that mid-range channel and you have to bring them together into one channel. That's what an LC7i does. That's what a DM608 does. That's what a DM810. So you have to figure out how many channels you have and what they're doing and how to bring them all together.
How do you discharge the cabs on the amplifier or power cell?
You can take a car light bulb, a DC light bulb, put it in on power and ground. The light bulb will light up and burn up all that energy, and then when it's dim, it's discharged. It's real simple.
That's like magic.
It is like magic.
Yeah.
And right now it's cold, so when that bulb gets really hot and bright, you can go, ah, warms
So you
my
can burn
hands.
yourself.
Yes. My amps have built-in DSPs. So if your amps have built-in DSPs, then the only thing you're going to need is something like an LC7i or an LC8i that is going to allow you to do the summing that's going to be required to then get the RC outputs to go into the amplifiers. So there again, you want to find out how many channels you have.
Yep.
And then take it from there. Now, some amplifiers that have DSPs have high level to
Hey,
low level
Mario.
built into them that you can just run up to 11, 12 volts into it. So if it doesn't need to be summed, meaning at the amplifier, let's say it's just a front output, a rear output, and a sub output, and you have no summing required, then you might be able to just go directly into those amplifiers without any external box. So there again, you need to do some testing at the amplifier and figure out what is going on.
Hey, John.
Speaking of audio control, because Justin just said audio control rules, rules, bro. The coupon code is still good. So for any of you guys that want to still pick up the DM-RTA and get the cool Bluetooth dongle included, go to audiocontrol.com, put both products, the Bluetooth dongle and the DM-RTA, in your shopping cart, and then in the end type in 5-star and they will deduct $150 off of the price, saving you the cost of the Bluetooth dongle. This is going to be good until February 8th. Some of you have already taken advantage of it, and we thank you so much. For the rest of you, if you're interested in it or you want to know what the heck it is we're talking about, if you go back to last week, either the YouTube live show or the Facebook show, we talk about it in a lot on there, and both those will also have links to the video where we went ahead and showed you how to use it in a car. So go ahead and check that out. And then for any of you that are interested in the 5-star stickers, this is what you do. Your home address, email it to 5starstickers@yahoo.com, and when Sue gets back from wherever she is, she will go ahead. She's not home right now. When she gets back, she'll put 3 stickers in an envelope, 1 big one, 2 small ones, absolutely free, and we'll mail them off to you.
There you go. All right,
Awesome.
so Joe, 2014 Focus hatchback. What kind of voodoo do I have to do to fit the 7-inch Excellence? You don't have to do nothing.
Ford Focus, what year?
It's 2014, but
Oh.
the Kenwood Excellence came with brackets.
Yeah, they come with a bracket.
So the only thing you have to do is
Cut the bracket.
yes, and you have to of course use rivets. Well, we use rivets because you know
Nice, Jason.
they rivet up. So yeah.
To just he just uses a test light to discharge cap. Oh, okay. So yeah, that makes sense too. But any car light bulb will work for discharging the cap.
No, John, we haven't worked with the Kicker KXA 2400.1 yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Any idea how can I get a signal in the 2019 Altima?
What kind of signal?
Yes.
You want a sub signal? You want a high signal? What kind of signal do you want?
What are you trying to do?
You know, kick panel is a great place to start,
Hey,
or
Mel.
the running board.
Yeah, it's Mel.
It's Mel. Hey, Mel.
What?
Where's it at?
What are you looking for? Ooh, no.
Mel,
No.
this is just for you. Hold on.
No.
It's gonna be quick. Oh, what is that? What is that, Mel? What is that, Mel? That's a tease for Saturday, people. That's what that is. When is the Dayton DSP video coming? As soon as we shoot it.
Yeah.
It's really where it's at. We've just been doing a lot of stuff. So it's hopefully within the next couple weeks we'll get to that And that's that. I mean, we're trying really hard. I've been playing with the software on my phone, thanks to Justin, that was like, hey man, you should check it out because the software on that's like a really scaled down version of the Alpine software. And I was like, oh wow, yes it is. So I have a feeling it's going to be a really nice piece.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to it. It's just a lot of stuff to play with.
How do you guys
address all pass filters when doing aftermarket and stock head units? Darren. Good question, Darren. So a lot of the times what happens is, for those of you who don't know what an all-pass filter is, an all-pass filter is something that just is annoying. It is a phase or polarity change at different frequencies and also at different volumes. So a speaker be moving this way, and it just gets it's a headache. How do you deal with it? Most of the time we just channel amplify. So if we have a situation that we have to keep the radio, we don't have an amp pro, we're pretty much, we'll do channel amplification. So what that means is if there's a tweeter channel, we'll amplify the tweeter. If there's a mid-range channel, we'll amplify the mid-range. So we'll take a DSP and we won't use the time correction because most of those cars have some form of time correction or will be very, very conservative on the time correction. And then we'll just EQ it from there. You just have to be real careful with the EQ there again too because it's going to change here and there. So there is no great answer for all pass filters right now other than replacing the radio. But that's kind of how we've been dealing with it. We've been pretty successful with it so far, but most of them are in the wonderful Toyotas, which I hate, and that's one of the reasons why I hate Toyotas. But in this one, we're using an Amp Pro because it's got a JBL system, so yay. But yeah, a lot of the times, a lot of DSP channels.
Yeah. For all these people, they're actually asking for product and installation price. Please call Paul. He will give you the prices on everything.
How do you tap into the Chevy Malibu MyLink radio
amplifier
to add amplifiers? So for that one, if it doesn't take the Amp Pro GM61, which it may, so check to see, go to pack-audio.com and see if the amp. Yeah,
What's up from Canada?
Amp Pro GM61 is listed. If it isn't, you're going to have to go after the amplifier. If it is one that is using Mosbus, which a lot of the new ones are, which that's what the GM61 is for.
Hey, from St. Pete.
You can also go to the code on the car. There's an AI code. I believe it's either AI 5 or 6, IO code. Anyways, go to
pack-audio.com.
They'll tell you when you go to the instructions, download the instructions, and then they'll tell you what you need to look for and the serial number for your car.
75 in California, nice. Texas in the house.
Wow, that would be cool.
Yeah. Hey, dude.
Hey guys from Ontario. Is it worth getting a DSP if you're only using a simple three-way system that has 2 front coaxials and a sub? Well, to answer that with another question or a to answer that, we'll say this. In your car, you have a set of components up front.
Components in front.
And you have one subwoofer on the 404, the Rockford. And you have a DSR-1 in there.
Correct.
Do you feel that when we took the DSR-1 out and you ran it naked, it was better or worse?
No. It's like, I love the DSR-1.
Okay.
Definitely.
So that answers that question.
You can see 100 times the difference when you have the DSR-1.
What's up, Johnny?
What's up, Johnny? Let's see. Any thoughts on a combo of the Rockford?
What's up, Joe?
Rockford punch speakers all the way around, and Rockford PBR amp, and 2 P312s.
2 P312s.
Yes.
PBR. Okay, that would work.
Wow, that's nice.
No, that would work.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, we did that one. Tahoe, where we put the 2 P312s in the back. I know James, when he was still doing stuff down in New Zealand, they did 2 P300s a lot of the times. Hoodies, yeah, it's cold, man.
Yes.
It's cold. Trust me, all day I've actually had the hoodie up. That's why my hair is kind of nappy. And they're 5-star hoodies, which you can get at teespring.store/5star. That's right.
Yeah.
5-star car stereo. That's right. You can get hoodies and oh, that probably was loud. I'm sorry. I forgot we had these on. You can also get t-shirts with the same logo on it. Yeah,
T-shirts like this.
And I keep them as cheap as humanly possible because we don't make any money on them. We sell them for basically I think we have to make at least $1 or $1.50. They get kind of pissy if you don't. So,
sorry, guys. Sorry.
What's the problem? The first time I've seen you wearing them. Oh no, it's just because it is cold.
It is cold. Yeah.
It's cold, dude. We're wussies here. You gotta understand. Even though I'm from Michigan, I don't like snow and I don't like cold. Vote Fernando shirt
yes.
is still up there. You can get that.
Thank you, Johnny.
Okay, would you sum with DSP a stock RAM stereo 2006 with nav and infinity system, or just replace everything? Just replace everything. No, God, no, don't keep that. Replace everything. It's poo-poo. They do make the Amp Pro for that if you absolutely feel like you have to keep the radio. They do make an Amp Pro so that you can plug into that if you want, but no, totally replace that radio.
Correct.
It's garbage. Plus, dude, it's 12-year-old GPS. Where's it going to take you? Nowhere. Okay.
Clinton.
Yeah.
Say new to watching the show. Making a decision of the Pioneer ABH 4400 NEX. It's a good radio. Yeah,
good radio.
Definitely.
Now, I will say this. Okay, whether you need navigation or not, my guess is you don't. There's two radios to think about. One, the 4400 is a great radio. However, you have the 14. If you're an iPhone user,
hi Chris.
the 1400 down is the capacitive touchscreen. It's non-motorized, non-DVD, non-CD, none of that fun stuff. It's a really nice radio. It's the old app radio with all the new, basically the same screen as an app radio, but a whole new back end. It's a really sexy radio. Now, even though you don't need navigation, the 8400. For one, it's easier to do a bypass, and two, has there again the capacitive touchscreen. Looks way sexier. Never have to use a nav, and you're paying like $200 for a touchscreen, but man, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Those two units. One is going to be cheaper. The 1400 is the MVH 1400 is cheaper, but the AVIC 8400 is obviously going to cost more. Not to talk you out of 4400, but if you haven't checked out those two radios, check those out as well.
All right, so this is a question from Luis, right? Luis said, will you run a low-pass filter in this situation? I almost finished my car as the TI3X Phoenix Call components with the C600.5. I'm making 150 bridge. For each speaker, and also running a small 200 watt subwoofer. Concerning the question,
Ron, that's cute.
Concerning the question, is there a huge amount of bass coming out from the speakers? I only get vibration from the sub. Will you run a low pass for the speaker? Yeah, for the speaker to remove the lower hiss from them.
No, you'd run a high-pass filter, actually. If you're trying to keep the bass out of those mid-range, you're going to want to run a high-pass.
But that one, they have the crossovers.
What? No, okay, so, yeah, but they have a top. So when you buy a component set and it has a crossover, hold on.
It's over there, right there.
So when you buy a component and it comes with this crossover, now this is for a three-way set, so this is going to be everything all in one. What this has is it has a bottom for the tweeter. Now what I mean by bottom for the tweeter is that's the lowest frequency that tweeter is going to play. So that's a high-pass filter for the tweeter. It has a top for the mid-range, and then it has a bottom for the mid-range. So the mid-range is the small speaker in the middle. So that's a low-pass and a high-pass filter for that mid-range, so that it will only play up so high, not to affect the tweeter, and down so low so that you don't actually blow it. And then it has a top for the mid bass, okay, which is a crossover so that it doesn't play up into the mid-range frequencies. Now what it's missing is a high-pass crossover, so that's going to be a low-pass crossover. So what it's missing is a high-pass crossover for that mid-range. That's where your amplifier or your crossover, your DSP or all the other stuff comes into play. This does not stop the bass, so that mid bass is going to play all the way down. There's nothing to stop it. So you want to put the high pass filter on, either the amplifier radio or DSP, to stop that. Okay, so when I refer to them as top and bottom, that's the cool little, when you see those cool little things like this, so this is the low pass, this is a high pass, this is a low pass. So essentially what you run into is a low pass, high pass filter on the mid bass, a low pass, high pass filter on the mid range, and then just a high pass filter on the tweeter. But the only one it's not giving you is that high pass filter for the mid bass. That's what your amplifier radio is for.
All right, so what sound ending do you guys recommend?
It is a bandpass.
Yes. We use right there, roadkill.
Roadkill Stealth. It's
Yes.
black, which means you don't see it through the grill like the silver
don't see
stuff.
it.
It's really nice.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. T-harness for the 2015 Chevy Trax. Keep the original stereo. Want to put 2 amplifiers.
What kind of car is it?
It's a Chevy Trax.
Trax?
Yeah, Trax.
Traxxas. Keep the original stereo. Want to put 2 amplifiers in it. T-harness for it. Or is that what it is? T-harness?
Yeah.
T-harness for that, what you're going to want to do is the easiest place to find T-harnesses is on metroonline.com. They have the DSP through Access. They make T-harnesses for all those interfaces. So if there is a T-harness available, that's where you're going to find it. Now, a lot of times what you have to do is you have to go to and find out what the harness looks like that they're recommending for your car, okay? And then go to the Access catalog, go to the 2018 Access catalog, which is where all of those are listed, and you can cross-reference your pictures. It's not the easiest thing in the world if it's not listed in the down below when you're typing in your information. So that's how you do that.
Yep.
Ted, yes, you can listen to your radio while your phone is plugged in for CarPlay. CarPlay is so you can do maps, either any maps you want, and be listening to AM, FM, or Sirius XM, or a CD,
Source.
or anything you want. It has the source has nothing to do with CarPlay being plugged in.
Okay, so Rick, Matthew.
No, Johnny, no more soda tests.
No more soda tests? Oh, yeah. I replacing my door speakers. I don't know what type of car do you have, but you can go and check packaudio.com, type your model number, year, and everything, and they also offer speaker adapters. You can also check metroonline.com, also offer speaker adapters for your car, so you don't have to put the speaker like that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit or something.
Yeah, so basically how we do it is you see it, you know, you guys always see it on the wall behind us. We carry Metro, we carry Pack or Best Kits, and then if these don't exist, as you see when we're at the router station, we make our own. So it's a pain, it's an ongoing nightmare, but we just it's what it is.
Ron, I never thought radios were sexy until now.
I know, I saw that one. That was good.
That's good.
What was that? Can you check voltage in versus voltage out of a passive crossover? Curious how much is lost. Yeah, you could do that. The easiest way to do that would be to pick a test tone. Okay, so here's the problem. Yes, you're going to use AC. I would probably use pink noise. Okay, I don't think I would I don't think I'd play like 1,000 hertz because the voltage, you just need to see a differential. You don't need to see it in its extreme. And when you run like 1,000 hertz out of an amplifier through a passive crossover, that's a lot of power and a lot of heat. So, because like when you're doing a DD1 test, you're disconnecting the speakers because you need to meter output. So this would be 1,000 hertz. This would be pink noise. Okay, so play pink noise, digital multimeter set to AC, measure your output, see where you're at. Okay, because you can do that with the speakers connected because you want to have that ohm load.
All right, so Michael has question 18. It's difficult to wire.
And I will tell you, it's minimal.
It's minimum. Okay, it's difficult to wire an amplifier subwoofer on a 2018 Charger with a factory head unit. I can keep the factory unit. What is the downside such as a setup?
Do you have an answer to that? Because I was reading Johnny's question where he was talking about doing a potato chip
like
challenge.
We say, check.
What was the question again?
Put an amplifier on a 2018in Charger.
Oh,
yeah,
it's going to be an Amp Pro.
Amp Pro, yeah.
It's still an Amp Pro.
Packaudio.com.
Yeah, Amp Pro.
Amp Pro, that's it.
They have an Amp Pro for that. So if you don't know what an Amp Pro is, we did a really good video last week, I think, where we told you what an Amp Pro is versus the AR. So go ahead and check that out. And did we do a standalone Amp Pro one before that?
Yeah, we
did the difference between Amp Pro and high level. So there's two great videos talking about Amp Pro, Amp Pro versus high level, Amp Pro and an AR, difference between Amp Pro and AR for my data. So check both of those out, and if that should answer any question you have as far as doing your thing.
You and Haley should do
the chip challenge.
Chip challenge.
Yeah, or or the Carolina Reaper. I don't know what the heck
What
that
is a Carolina?
I don't know. I tell you what, Jason Fro on here sent us 10 questions that he wanted us to answer about Disney. We did that yesterday in the rain, freezing our butts off. So that was a lot of fun. I'm glad he sent that to us.
Nice.
My LJL 501 V1 owner's manual shows how to use a multimeter to adjust gains. Aside from the SMD1, what other way do you recommend? That would be an oscilloscope. So the oscilloscope will allow you to do the same thing, because oscilloscope is actually, a DD1 is showing you clipping or distortion. It's showing you distortion, showing where the wave is starting to break apart, or square wave is what they like to call it. You can do the same thing with oscilloscope, meaning you can use a Lumi oscilloscope, which is pretty cheap. We've had them on the show.
Yep.
Do we have one? Is yours
It's
right here?
there, the second one. Yep. Correct, rubber, DNF
you
tool
go.
drawer. Yep.
Yep. So you can get the Lumi, which is this guy right here,
That's
which
the
is
new. That's the new model.
This is the handheld oscilloscope digital multimeter. It's like 80 bucks if you're a car audio guy. If you can't afford a DMRTA, you should have one of these. Now what
But
you can do
if you can afford the
if you can afford the DMRTA, just get that.
Yeah.
Because that has an oscilloscope and a voltmeter built into it for doing what you're talking about. But what you can do is you can take that 1,000 hertz test tone track just like you do on the DD1, and you can play it. You can play a negative track, and you can watch for where the wave is no longer around. It squares off, and then back it down a little bit, and you're setting your gains.
Bye, Victor. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good night. Now, the one nice thing is you can do every channel that way. And if you want a channel match, what you want to do is find your weaker channel. So when you're using the oscilloscope, let's say one channel is puts out X amount of power and the other one puts X plus power. Well, obviously X plus power is bad. You can then switch over to just AC on your digital multimeter, see how much voltage is coming out of that, and then match that hotter channel to the lower channel so that all channels are putting out the same amount of power. That way you won't, you always work down or work up and then turn down. Either way.
All right, so let's see.
Ron, wish we didn't have to do remote starts like you guys. My heart goes out to you. Yeah.
Nope.
But, on the upside, you could sit in here with us and do this truck for 2 days. And, yeah. Fun.
Yes.
What do you got?
All right, so this one, ABH 4400.
Ran into issues on the party bus where unit was in back of vehicle. Even with trigger 1, it would pick up GPS movement and cut video. Yes, it will. So in order for a 4400 to not do silly stuff, is you have to pull the GPS antenna and disconnect the VSS wire and restore the radio. You have to restore the radio back to factory where you were opening it up and go through the whole setting. So you have to go into the settings and click restore. Because if you just disconnect them without doing that and they've already tracked themselves in, then they won't work.
Hey.
But that's how that works.
Did
And then
you
it'll
chase-
be a 4200 and won't have any of those issues.
Do you chase down bad wiring?
Do we chase down bad
Yeah,
wiring?
I definitely have a ground issue and I need professional assistance.
I mean, obviously we'll do that when we have to solve an issue, but I mean, it just depends on what the issue is.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously. Yeah, I've asked a question. Paul has never done any installs. No, Paul has never done any installs.
Nope.
At all, ever, never,
Never.
never. No.
And
no.
I don't think he's
4400
going
just
to.
Needs new firmware. It bypasses the GPS now. Well, okay, give that a try. I tried that one, Sean, and it didn't work for me. So,
Yeah.
but people have said it works. So for some reason, I must have been doing something wrong, or I didn't restore it. I don't know. It didn't work when I did it, but supposedly that's what everyone's saying. So on the 4400, if you do the update, there's a good possibility that you won't have to worry about your issue anymore. There is an update that came out at the end of the year, November, December. So give that a try first. That's a heck of a lot easier than doing all the other stuff.
No, Adrian, no, we don't do nothing like lights, HIDs, nothing like that.
I'm not pulling your bumper off to put a set of headlights in. They're going to break in 6 months.
And then you have to put it back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of time. I'm running Alpine R-type separates on rear doors, Alpine R-type two-way 6x9s on front doors, and Alpine R-type tweeters in the dash off of the MRP 300 and Sundown 8 MRV 1200. Stock head unit with, I guess, a
DSR-1.
DSR-1B best thoughts. Well, if you're an Alpine guy, which it sounds like you are, you may want to check out the Alpine DSP. That's the PXE-0850S. And if you'd like to know more about it, go into our playlist for Alpine and check that thing out. We just put it in my Camaro. It's currently still in my Camaro. It's a little bit more money, but if you're an Alpine guy, it's definitely a nicer DSP to play with.
Wayne said, does Paul have a system install or bump into stock OEM? No.
So Paul has Sirius XM in his car, and he has the attention span of a mouse. So he's got 6 presets, and when you're riding with him, he constantly shuffles through all 6 presets. Now those presets are pretty much Talk News, the Disney Channel, and some form of channel out of California, which I have yet to figure out. But he just basically bangs through those 6 channels and all the whole trip. So if you go for like a half-hour drive, you've listened to those 6 channels 50, 60 times. And he plays it at a level that even though he wants to talk to you while you're driving, you're just sitting there going, will you turn the radio down, man? Dude, just turn the radio down. And he's like talking, so hey man, you know, what do you think about that training? What do you think? You're going, stop. So, and we still let him drive though, because it's, you know, it's fun.
Brandy say actually he installed the money in the register.
Oh, for the headlights?
Paul.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
Paul.
yeah, that's all he installs. Exactly. Like truck dealers, never use your own product. Right. Where can I get those tiny yellow butt connectors? We buy those from AMP, which is AMP Global. If you have an AMP dealer anywhere in your area, that's who sells them. So you could probably contact a car stereo shop like this. If you really absolutely can't find them anywhere, give Paul a call and he can mail them out to you.
Yep.
He'll sell you some. But that's where we get them. We get them from AMP.
All right. Hey guys, final question. I have a Pioneer 8201 NEX, and sometimes CarPlay voice will pick up. The voice pick up. Sometimes it doesn't. Apple says it's not compatible.
What's not compatible?
Apple says the radio is not compatible with Pioneer. What?
That doesn't. It's an 8200. 8200 has CarPlay.
Yes, 8201 it definitely has CarPlay.
All of them. 82.
Yes.
Well, an 8201 and 8200 is the same radio.
Yes.
There's no difference. The box was different. The only thing I could say is make sure that the firmware version on the radio is the latest, greatest firmware, because that is the newest joy that everyone has. Have you ever did an 08 VW Touareg? What was Sejecki's? Was that a Touareg or was that the smaller one? That was a smaller one.
That was the small one.
I don't know. I'm not. Yeah.
No, you know what? I think it was.
Was it a Touareg?
Yeah.
It might have been Sejecki.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we put Kenwood.
All Kenwood, because it's Sejecki, so we had to do Kenwood.
Yeah.
Who controls the radio on your family trip? Whoever's driving. So when we go on a family trip, if Sue's driving, which she is most of the time because she gets car sick, so I just let her drive. I don't have those problems. Typically, her and Haley will sit in the front seat, and I'll get chauffeured around in the back seat because I'm usually the one navigating, telling people what to turn left, turn right, and whatnot. But honestly, when all 3 of us are in the car, very rarely do we even turn the radio on because we're all talking and catching up, and with her gone away at college. But even when she, it's almost like family time, at the dinner table. So a lot of the times when we're driving in the car. Now, when I'm driving my car, which I don't drive because it just annoys the crap out of me, I'll be listening to the radio, and Sue will be sitting in the passenger seat, and I'll find a song, and I'll turn it up to listen to it, and then she'll start talking. I'll turn it down, and she'll stop talking. I'll turn it up. So how can you update the firmware? If you go to your corresponding radios page, so if you're a Pioneer guy, you go to pioneerelectronics.com. If you're a Kenwood person, you go to kenwood.com/USA. You go to your corresponding radio, which you can, in the top right-hand corner on both pages, if you type in your full model number, all the dashes, little letters, and everything, you can then go, and there'll be a support tab for all of the radios. Tap it, it'll take you to the firmware update, and it'll give you how to do it and what to download.
Yes, I would love to test the Morel speakers. Also, as soon as we have time, we're going to install these ones.
Oh, the Nanos.
And the Nanos.
Yeah.
So, and then definitely we're gonna let you know how that one sounds.
Back seat means nap time.
Yes.
So when we're at Disney, Haley always takes the back seat, and yes, it is nap time. When we drive over Saturday nights after doing the show here, I usually fall asleep in the front seat though because I'm done.
Yeah.
All wives do that, right? I know. Yeah, so I think we've just gotten to the point to where we don't really, that's why it's like I like driving by myself, because then I can listen to the radio.
All right, so looking for some Focal K2s, any other speaker, I should check it out before pulling the trigger.
Looking for some Focal K, oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Carlos, it's one of those things, you know, I tell people when you're at that amount of money, it's very hard to go wrong. Okay, there's, you know, you're looking at a K2, that's going to put you into a really, pull the trigger, man. Pull the trigger. You know, every single set of K2s I've ever put in, I've never had anyone go, man, I really regret buying those K2s. No one's ever said that. Everyone's like, oh my God, now I understand.
Right. Yeah.
Audison Hertz is a good brand. There's no doubt about it. Just like Morel is a good brand.
Exactly.
But, you know, and there again, you know, you can look at some Voces, you can some K2s, you can look at some Hertz Milli Pros, you can look at some of the expensive Morels, which the names always bug me because I want to say
the
those.
Virtus. But
the Virtus, so it's not going to be the step up, so it'll be hybrid. So there's a ton of those to choose from, but the K2s are really nice. So go ahead. No one has ever heard a K2 and said it sounds okay. Exactly.
Exactly. No.
No, never.
No.
It sounds all right.
Oh, well, K2s.
No. Rockford, maybe, but they sound okay. Those sound pretty good. Sorry I missed most of the show in a meeting. No problem, Bismarck. At least you caught the end, and that's really all that matters. Just stopping by to say hi.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. Make sure you spend the money on prep with the K2s. Most definitely. Good point.
That's right. Jason is right.
If you're going to spend that amount of money on a speaker, if you're not going to put something like Roadkill, some form of a fast string, or anything like that on the panel you're going to put them in, don't waste your money.
Correct.
It's not going to worth it because mounting a speaker to a pop can, you're not going to get the best results. So if you're going to spend the $1,000 to $1,200 to $2,400 on a set of speakers, if you're not willing to put another $300 or $400 into actually treating the door the way it needs to be treated, it's not worth your time.
Run. KS are sick too. Yeah, KS is good, but like, I mean, K2s is just like.
Well, Haley has the KS in her cars.
And sounds right.
And it sounds really nice.
Nice. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because
KS with a kicker key.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it was funny because last weekend I took when I had to go up to meet them at the lake house, which isn't my lake house, by the way. It's what we call her parents' house. It's a joke. Anyways, I took her car because she has the KS and the kicker key and the P300 in the back. So I jammed out the whole way. Yeah. And it's funny because dude, I sit in the car and I play it. Yep. And it images perfect, and I go. There was no work involved in it. It just hit the button and it sounds great. Yeah. It's like, kicker, make a bigger version of this, man. Just make a bigger version of it. Gosh.
You can type pack, like pack audio. Yeah, PAC.com, and it's going to appear right there.
What?
Somebody says they can find the website.
Pack-audio. You got to put the dash.
That's it.
Pack-audio.
Yep. Yes, I put Roadkill in my car. Roadkill.
Oh, he meant
fast
K2s.
rings.
He meant K2s, not the KX. Either way, the kickers sound great.
K2s.
So we went down that hole, but I like them too. But they're not in the same league as a K2.
No.
So, I figured that's what you meant. Okay.
Yes, 4200 is good.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
So
that was my favorite radio.
So the only difference between 4200 and 4400 is really the wireless CarPlay. I mean, that's it, right? Oh, no, that's right. They changed the back of the radio because software-wise, feature-wise, that's really the big difference is wireless CarPlay. Internally, they did switch. They redesigned the amplifier or redesigned the radio and moved all the noisy stuff to one side and all the stuff like preamp section, all that to the other side, and moved to all audio grade components. But the 4200, I mean, that format that radio was produced as a 4000 series up to the 4200. They did that for 4 or 5 years. You know, it's a great radio. It's a great radio. There's no doubt about it. It's a great radio.
Yeah, that was my favorite radio.
Yeah.
Until like the DSP came out.
Yes.
And I was like, you know, the love ends.
Yeah. Boston Acoustic Pro 60s are some of the best components ever made.
Never heard Boston Acoustic.
Back in the day when Boston Acoustic was relevant, yeah, for sure. They were nice. Everyone liked them. But there was nothing to compete against back then. There was no Focals. There was no Audison Hertz. There was Morels, but they were really hard to get.
Kicker need to make a standalone DSP.
Yeah, we know. They know.
Yeah.
But they won't talk to us, so...
They won't talk to us.
Well, I mean, because that's Bart.
Well,
no, that's Bart. Bart is, you know, Black Ops, man. It's like, I'll tell you, then I'm going to kill you. And it's like, because, trust me, they have a DSP, but it's built into their...
the kicker key.
The Q class.
And the Q class.
You know, and it's like, you know, you have the key that is like, that Fernando, not this Fernando, but actually there's a Fernando at Kicker, and that's the guy that made the Kicker key. They have a Fernando too. They're lucky like me.
That's Fernando.
Anyways, he made the Kicker key, and that technology is awesome. It took him 2 years to design that. But the Q class is there again. It's just a basic DSP, EQ, whatnot. We need to bring those two together and move them forward.
Okay, for old school, what do you pick? Boston Acoustic or Ambicord?
I'm going to go Boston Acoustic. I hated Ambicord.
Really?
Hated. The tweeter drove me up the wall.
Why?
God, it was so loud, man. It was bright and metal.
Okay,
you know
so now can you...
that.
Yes, I know.
I hate it.
What do you compare right now, like the Ambicords, to a product right now?
That tweeter would probably like a T2 tweeter.
Really?
Yeah. No, you know what?
The Pioneer?
No, the Pioneer Z.
Oh.
The Pioneer Z. That Ambicord's tweeter is more like that
I like
Pioneer
the
Z. Does Kicker also...
Kicker also have Dean.
No, they don't. And that's why they flew me out there. But... actually, that's why I flew myself out there. And they invited me. I had to fly myself. Anyways,
did you take a Red Bull and just like?
Yeah, I had wings. Yeah, and it was an expensive Red Bull. Yeah, they didn't pay for it. They paid for the hotel and the food, but I had to fly. I had to pay for the airplane. Anyways, who cares? But no, the Pioneer Z tweeter is probably the closest to that Ambicords because that is a loud, obnoxious, and they were way too bright. And there again, that Z series Pioneer tweeter is way too bright. You loved it.
I love it.
So you would have liked the Ambicords.
Okay, there you go. Yep. Get the rest of the show tomorrow.
All right, Louis, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Currently placing my stock speakers one at a time. Currently amplifying my GM stock Bose speaker on. Okay, sadly they sound better than my. Oh wow. What do I do? Well, okay, so it all comes back to the source unit. So I mean, you got to remember with a factory stereo, whether it's Bose or whoever. When you have a factory radio with a factory amplified, insert any one of the cool names that these manufacturers are using. It's a complete system. So the speaker, the amp, and the radio are complete. They're all tuned to sound the way they do. Now, if you pull out, like, prime example, we had a BMW 325i that had a, what's that stereo that they use in those? Boston, is it a Boston Acoustic? Or what is that? Crappy, anyways, there's a 6.5 in the front door, okay? We literally took every single 6.5 we had, because the guy was like, dude, just find me something to go in there, okay? We had R-Types, we had Audison, we had Phoenix Gold, we had Rockford. Everything in there sucked. Sucked bad.
Harman Kardon. Yeah,
Harman Kardon, that's it. It was Harman Kardon. Thank you. Sucked bad. Sucked so bad. I mean, it was like we wasted an hour just trying different speakers to go, nope, nope, nope. I was like, oh my God. Dude, we ended up sending the guy back to the dealership to just go buy that speaker, put it in, sounded amazing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so anytime you're doing one of those situations where it's like factory radio, factory amp, Focal.
Yeah.
It's gonna sound bad. It's gonna sound
if you
real
replace
bad.
the whole
Even if
system,
you amplify it, it's gonna sound bad. You just gotta get past that.
Now
system.
keep in mind, you have that's 2 ohm speaker.
Yeah, the the Bose.
Yeah,
Bose has
the
a funky
Harman Kardon.
resistance.
Yeah, it's 2 ohm, and then you put the K2s. They are 4 ohms. I mean, I'm sorry, the KS. I think
yes,
they are.
Jason,
Yeah.
you're getting old, man. Hearing goes. It says Kicker do tours. Kicker has a museum in the front, and you can play, and they won't take you into the back like I got to do, but you can go into Kicker's headquarters and check out the whole museum in the front, and they'll rock that wall for you.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the problem that you run into. Now, there again, the Camaro we just did, which we put pictures up, you put a bunch of pictures up.
The Camaro, yeah.
That was a 2019 Camaro with the Bose stereo, and we went out of the Bose amplifier because they don't make an amp pro for that, and 2019 doesn't work. We went out of that into the DM810, into the amplifiers, and everything was hunky-dory. So it sounded wonderful. We did all Morel in that. It was great because we had the DSP in there to fix all the issues we were going to have. So we did a ton of re-equalization. We didn't do any time correction because it was already time corrected. It was just a matter of going in, and we had to do a little bit of tweaking on the tweeter.
Okay, yeah, because
But that was about it.
like he don't actually lie the
A bad tune will make any speaker sound poor. Correct.
yeah, he don't lie time correction. Like
Well, no, he liked the factory time correction.
yes.
He didn't.
Yes.
He does. He liked the center channel. That's
Like
why.
how it- yes,
He's like, I
exactly.
want that center channel playing. I'm like, no problem. We
Yep.
can do that. You know. So, and it was already aligned. So it was just a matter of putting it in. I got an Amazon speaker tester, and it works with the CD. But when I do it with the link that you guys provide, the player check comes up wrong, and I need the Bluetooth piece. The stereo does not have a CD player. Okay.
What are we doing?
I'll have to go back and check the store and see where it's linking to. So what you need to do it, because you're doing it over Bluetooth, you don't have a CD player. What you want is a polarity tester on your phone, or you want a tone generator on your phone. So if you go to the App Store, either Apple or whatever, or Android, you can download a
Apple,
polarity.
whatever.
On Apple, I use an app called Audio Tool. That's Audio Tool. It looks like this. And one of the things it has on it is a tone generator. For polarity, we use Speaker Pop.
Speaker pop.
It's called Speaker Pop. It's put out by Studio 6. I know they still have it on the App Store.
Yeah.
Because you just got it.
Yep.
And that's what we use. Any speaker polarity app that you download to your phone, you just play it through over Bluetooth, and then you can use that checker, because you just need the speakers all to move in the same direction.
Correct. Did the Camaro customer say no to anything?
Did he say no to anything?
No, he don't say no.
Well, okay, so I mean, that's the third Camaro we've done for him. That's
For
his
him.
third one. And yeah, he did say no, because it took us like, we've been talking about that.
No, but like
system
he don't
since
say
November.
like oh no like.
Well,
he's-
no, because
we were talking,
we
like,
talked like again. We talked
lot.
for like 2 months
Yeah.
before we actually did that. So we were waiting to see what came out new in
Hey,
December.
Rafael.
I mean
Yep.
January, and then because first we were going to do one brand speaker, and then he was like, I want to do this brand speaker, and then we're like, all right, well let's do that.
Bye, Adrian. Thank
his
you.
big thing in that, which he watches this show, was he really wanted a 6x9 mid bass. So. We got him a 6x9 mid bass, and apparently these people don't know I do a live show.
Yeah.
Anyways, how about go active with my Z series so I can bring the tweeter down some? That's a thought. See, and that's where the Kenwood radio really comes in, because Kenwood has a low pass filter for the tweeter outputs on the front channel. So you can actually go into their crossover and gain down the tweeter. It's pretty cool. It's like an EQ.
Kenwood.
But yeah, you could go active. Did those have an attenuation on? Did they have a 3D negative 3 dB attenuation on the tweeters? Yeah, they do. They had to have. Check to see if it has an attenuation. Most crossovers, when you open them up, they have a -2, 0, or a negative number, a 0, and a positive number.
Or actually, the connection has an extra
Or some
one.
connectors have extra ones, but most passive crossovers have a tweeter attenuation on them where you can tone that thing down.
Live in the shop, now watching.
The other thing you can do
Ciao,
too,
Daniel.
The other thing you can do too, life hack here, is put a small piece of cloth over the front of the tweeter. And that will tone the tweeter and mellow it out just a little bit. So if you don't want to go crazy, go active and spend a bunch of money, a sock is good. Piece of hoodie is good.
Little carpet,
little piece of
you know,
carpet,
yeah.
like box carpet, is good as well. Yeah, you know, you just need some semi-transparent cloth that you can put over it,
Yeah.
and that'll tone it down and mellow it out a little bit. That is my favorite feature, the tweeter attenuation. It is mine too. I like that one.
Can you add an inline attenuation?
You could add what's called an L pad, which is a amplified volume control for it. They're pretty big. They're basically a bunch of resistors, and you can turn up the volume up and down. So yeah, an L pad would work for turning the tweeter up and down also. Those are typically used in home audio. Home audio used to use them a lot because you just have one amplifier that fed all the rooms, and then you just put like a dimmer. It looked like a dimmer, like a light dimmer on the wall, and that would be how you'd turn up and down the volume in that room. Is you'd use an L pad. It's a level pad. So yeah, you could use that in your car too. Why not?
Yeah.
Do Pioneer radios only mute and not attenuate? That usually, if it is capable of it, it isn't in the settings. There's usually, when you're going into the audio settings, there's usually a option for mute/attenuate, and you can switch between the two. If it's a higher end radio, it should have that feature.
Exactly.
Okay. Pioneer used to yeah, okay.
Now they use mute.
Okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
I gotta bail. Thanks, Jason. Which means
Bye, Jason.
keeper of the time,
Yeah.
Jason, is
Jason
letting
is
us
the
know
guy.
that it's been an hour. It has been an hour. Let's go over real quick. If you guys want stickers, you can find them here. If you want to take advantage of the audio control deal that we have going on right now to get the DMRTA and the Bluetooth dongle, go to audiocontrol.com. You have until February 8th. Make sure you put the Bluetooth dongle and the DMRTA in your
Together.
shopping cart together so that you get the big total. When you type in 5-star as your coupon code, you'll get $150 knocked off to make them more reasonable. Patreon is a place you can go to support the show. Get your name at the beginning of this video tomorrow when it goes live. You also get the only video version of the podcast. That's right, we do a podcast. You can
New
find it
Patreon
on
video.
iTunes,
Sean?
Google Play and
Yeah.
Music, Google Play Music and Podbeam. We do it twice a month. Teespring/store/5star is a place where you can go and get your cool swag that says 5-star on it. And then, of course, if you want to find the cool tools that we use to do all the fun stuff that we do, DNF Tool Drawer is the place, dnftooldrawer.com. Is there another one? Is this
No,
it?
that's it.
I think that's it. All right, guys. It's been a wonderful Monday. Remember, Saturday we're going to have a special guest filling in for Fernando because he's going to Grave Digger.
Yeah, he's happy, man.
Going to see the monster trucks, taking the
Well,
little
you know,
Fernando
but-
to go see it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a fill-in. And then Monday, on the Monday show, we got a special guest, Aaron from Amp Global.
Yes.
It ought to be great. So listen, you guys, you have a fun and safe week. Be safe so that we can see you again here on Saturday when we do the
Thank you,
YouTube live
guys.
show at 6 o'clock. Yay.
Time for bed, bye.
Gosh.
Yes.
Swear. All right.
Bye.
You guys have a good night. We'll see you later next time. Bye.
Bye.